Hello, this is part 5. We want to draw this object and then we'll follow the instructions in the textbook to arrive at all the different ways we could draw this. We'll get this shape in our AutoCAD file, we'll save our file and make our layers. Here we have 3 things here: layer for object, we have one for dimension, and then we'll have a construction line. So in AutoCAD, I'll save, we do in AutoCAD, we'll save new, and then have this card open, and then file, save as, we'll save it in our file, and graphics, we'll call this part 5 with your name, and I'm saving it. We'll go back to the drawing. It says draw this object and draw it anywhere in the model space. Okay. So first things, make our layer. Make our layers, new layer, objects, red column, and then make the line width. Have another object for dimensions. Make it white and send the line width to a lighter line width. And next one we'll have is our, I think I'll be center line. It's white, but we change the line type to the center. No, this is go to line type. We want to load another line type. Look for the center line. Picking center. Okay. We should center here. Okay. And so we close the layers after making it, and remember the drawing is just to start anywhere in the model space. So let's have a horizontal line, a vertical line, and then we start offsetting. We know that the total width is 2 and the total height is 4. So let's get that first. So I'll make my current layer the object, and then I'm going to do this horizontal line and vertical line. That's not straight, so straight line. And then now we offset for the horizontal 2. And then offset for the vertical 4. Oh, just a minute. Offset. Now we can trim off the excess. And we'll zoom in. The next step is to offset for this first line. So we have 0.5 from the top. After 0.5, we have another 0.5 for the center of these curves. Then we have 2. But if we notice, we look at it, we see that we can do this upper part and then mirror it for the bottom part. So let's draw this top portion. Offset by 0.5. Let's see. Okay, so it's 0.5 from this line and 0.5 from this line. And then from here to the center, we can draw our center line, and then we are given the radius of these curves here. I'll go back, offset 0.5. We can select these two lines and change the layer to center line. Go back to the book. So if we come back here and look, you see that from here to here is 0.5. And then we have, okay, we don't have the distance from here, but we have a center line. Okay, so checking to make sure I'm at the center here. Yeah, so this is the center of, remember what we said, that when the triangle shows up, that means you're at the center. So that's the center of our shape. Then we can, let's see, use the chamfer D. Always check that the distances are 0 when you press enter after typing D. Just say 0 and come back to it. So this, it tells us that all fillets are 0.1 R. This place is curved. That means that there is a fillet here. So we'll get that fillet and I will draw these two circles. So look out for the fillet symbol and then R, enter. Our fillet is 0.1, enter. Select first object here and here. And that is the fillet. So we'll go for the two circles here. This one is 0.1 radius and the other one is 0.25 radius. So let's draw them. Go to circle, 0.1 radius, and another circle, 0.25. Show 0.1, 0.25. And then this height is 1.75 from the top to where this stops. So let's trim off this bottom part of this circle. And then we can mirror this other side. So we select this side and then mirror because we know the center. And mirror, and then we trim. And then save. So we can offset for this 1.75, offset at 1.75. Take from the top here. And for our image, you see 1.75 is where these two end. So we have the circles. What we need to do now is mirror. We'll have these two circles. If we mirror them, then we can join the vertical lines. And then we should have another line for the width of this place. So it tells us that the width of here is 3.75. So once we have our vertical lines, we can offset 3.75. We have these vertical lines, offset 3.75 to get the other side of the shape. So we'll mirror. So this is the center. Center. So we get a line. Line 2. We're still in the object layer. Join this. Join this. And then we bring the line. And so I'll come this way and check it out. We'll have two lines here, one line, and then this goes back. So two lines, one, and then this goes back. This is not in the right position, that's why. So we need to come and look and see the distance. It tells us that from this wall, from here to here is 0.25. So look out for the lines. In the dimensions, we have guidelines. So the dimension has a line to guide us to the point where the measurement is. In this dimension is showing that from this point to this point is 0.25. So I need to offset that and then pull my width of this place to the 0.25 line. Offset 0.25 and here. So now I need to move this back. I'm selecting it, move back to this spot. So delete this initial offset, and then we see that we can join these two lines. Always save as you proceed because sometimes the drawing can get frozen. So confirm, cross-check, always check the drawing. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines up there. Come over here, check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. So now we tidy up this corner here. We said all fillets are 0.1 R. So we see that here and here. Back in the drawing, go for my fillets and type R, enter, and it's still set at 0.1. So it keeps the last measurement. So enter. And now I'll pick the two lines here and here. And I'll keep my space bar and say here and here. So we have a shape up there. And we will need to mirror this shape down. But if I do that, I will delete this whole portion and then draw a box on this part and click on mirror. And the triangle appears, draw that, enter. So now I'll trim off all the sides I don't want and then look at my picture. So I have the horizontal lines up and down and the center lines. So make it look like what this is. I'm going to have my construction and my center line. Let's draw a line from here. The center is visible. So this is not center line, but let's see. The scale is not showing, so I've selected it and I go to properties. So I want the scale, the broken line to show. So remember, we can change the properties of the line. It doesn't change. Okay, 0.05. Still doesn't change. It's still 0. Yeah, so this is really tiny. So make it 0.5, and so this is as big as the other one here. So for this, I will send it to one side just as it is in the picture. I'm dragging it. Now we have our two center lines. We'll go back here. We have our shape here. Complete. They go to the next step. Step 2. Use the mirror command and mirror the object. So mirror the object and make necessary changes to match the figure. So when we mirror the object and we have these two internal parts face each other, we want to have an external box, one box instead of joined. So I'll come back here. This is my object. Draw a box around it. Mirror. Because it's 2 meters, I can start at the end and drop it here. Erase subs object. No. Enter. So we have the two shapes. So how do we? The first thing, I want to delete these two lines. I draw from this side. Delete. And look at it. We have the two shapes. In this new drawing, there are no center lines. So I'll also delete this white lines. So we have this shape and we want to confirm that we have the shape and the size. So let's put our dimension here. In order to put a dimension, we'll go to annotate, linear, and dimension the size. So we see it's 4. And that's what the drawing wants. Step 3 says complete the object by erasing and extending all lines so that they are all continuous in length. This object will be referred to as the original object in this lab exercise. So we have our objects. We have the one object and it says it will be referred to as the original object. So it says copy and scale the original object at a scale factor of 0.25 to any location anywhere in the model space. So copy, first thing we do is copy our image. So at the home panel, we go to copy and select this, right click, pick it from a point and drop it. Then we go to scale. So click on scale, select, right click, it says to scale it down to 0.25. So I've picked the point first we want to scale it from. Then come to this point and write 0.25. Okay, so our original and small scale. Bring it closer. We have a big shape and a small shape, original and scaled object. So the next steps we want to do is to copy the scaled object to coordinates shown, stretch it to match the dimension drawing. Oh, we need to get this point x 1.5 and y 20. I'll come to the drawing and pick a line. I'll say x 1.5, comma 20. So this is the point. I'll just draw a vertical line. So copy, select the image, copy. I copy it and to stretch it now to my dimension currently is 1 and I'm to stretch it to 2. I've copied it to this point x 1.5 y 20. So I'll go back here. Say type in a stretch, stretch. Select the objects to stretch by crossing window or crossing polygon. So I'm selecting here and right click, specify base point. So from here, that's the middle. From here, we want to make it to 2. So I'm dragging it to this point, 1.5. Let's see. No, it's 2. So I need to move it double. Back here. Control Z. Type stretch again. And I select the object, right click, and I move it from here to here. You see that it has changed to 2. And to make this rectangle, I can extend or chamfer. So let me use the extend tool. Click on extend and click on the lines and extend it. And we can go ahead and delete this line that we used to get the point. So the next instruction is to copy the scale object to the coordinates and stretch it to match the dimension drawing. So this is now a vertical stretch. We'll get the point x 1.5, y 18.5. Go for my line again. So line x is 1.5, comma 18.5. Okay, so this is the second point, and we're to copy this shape. Copy. Pick it from if we have x 1.5, y 18.5, and then we want to stretch it to a height of 2 meters. So what is the current height? From here to here is 1, and I want to stretch it to 2. So I'll type in the stretch again. Stretch it, and it says select objects. So try selecting everything now. Right click. Base point is from here. And so specify second point, or use the first point as displacement. So we want to stretch the second one. We've check out the height as 2 meters. So back in the drawing, type stretch. To select object, so I'll cross it at the middle, not select the whole. Okay, and then right click, base point will be here, and the final point is the middle point, so stretched. I'll go to C. C says copy the scale object to the coordinates and then stretch it to match the dimensional drawing. We copy. C says copy and match, so we'll copy the scale drawing again. For C, we want to copy the scaled object to the coordinates shown, stretch it to match the dimension drawing. The coordinates for C is x 2.5 and y 15.5. X 2.5, y 15.5. We'll starting the line again. 2.5, 15.5. So bringing this down and copy. This is copy it to this point. And then we want to stretch it so that this point will be from here to here is 0.55. So we need to check what it is now. .75. So we want to move it from 0.75 to 0.55. So I've got that out of the way. And we said the height of this point is 0.55. Right now it's 0.75. That means when it needs to reduce by 10 either way. So I'm going to offset by let's say 0.1. We need to reduce it by 0.1 either way. So specify the distance from here and here. And now we can stretch. So I have my stretch here and type that in. And I'll select. I said draw the box along here. Okay, so draw the box from here across. Then right click. And then we pick this from the top and stretch it to where the line was. So that it's overlapping here. But we know that the stretch is below here. So offset, no stretch again. And draw the box. Right click and then take this from here to here. So with this stretch now, we need to trim off the extra lines and come back here and see how 0.55, and then we have the line up there. So we move this one. I'm going to move it up. It's going to work out. Okay, so for C, it says to stretch to match this figure. I've copied it to the 2.55 Y515. I think I have, let me check if I have it on the right point. No, so this point should be here. So I'll move it, move this to this point, and this the line starts at the point, so get this right by putting it at the beginning of the point. And now we need to stretch for this shape, stretch it to, for the height to be 0.55. The difference between 0.55 and 0.75 is 0.20. That means we're going to stretch either way, the top and the bottom, down by 0.1. So now for me to know where those points will be, I'll offset by 0.1. And here, offset by 0.1. So it's time to stretch. So we type stretch or we select the stretch. Remember to draw the box from this angle this way, and then we'll stretch it from here. So this doesn't work, so let me do that again. Stretch, draw the box up to here, right click, and then stretch it from here to the line. Okay, now we need to do the same thing for this way. Now moved the middle line, but let me see if it works. Now we do that again. Stretch, select everything except the top there, right click, and then now we stretch from here to where the line was. So see, it's jumping out now. So start that again. So I've offset by 10. We need to think about it, the places that we want to move and the places we don't want to move. This place will be fixed because it's in the middle, but we want to move from this height down to the line, and we want to move this height down to this line. So I'll say stretch, and now I'll select the places I want to stretch. Now right click, click up here, and drop it on the line. And then next will be this other portion. So here I'm stretching to, and I pick it from here, and I drop it here. So we have our 0.55. You can go on to delete these lines. So the next thing we need to do is D. So D's coordinates are 2.5 and 12.5. So I'll go over to the drawing line 2.5, 12.5, enter. And so I have my points, and I will copy, let's see, they ask us to do in DC, copy the scaled object to the coordinates shown and stretch it to match the drawing. So first thing I go copy the scale drawing. This is our scale drawing. Copy and match it to the scale shown. I'm picking it here. I'll check. Where is it? 2.5. So it is this edge that is sitting at the corner. So I'm going to correct that now. select it and move it to this corner. So that is the, let me see, 2.5 and 15. Yes, that's where it starts from. Now they ask us to stretch so that this height here will be 0.2125. 0.2125. So I'm going to offset from the top by 0.2125. So offset by the distance will be 0.2125. Enter. And take a look at that. This height ends at 2125. So think about it. How do we stretch this so that the height here is 2125? So I think it's to offset this other way so that we maintain the distance to the middle. We maintain the distance to the middle, but we drag every other thing down. So I will offset this in this direction. I say this is 2125 from the top, but let me offset now. 2125, enter. So I'm going to have this line and then stretch this top to meet this line. Okay, so stretch, you draw the box over here, right click, and then we're picking it from here to here. So that if we measure, let's see, we have 2125. Yeah, so this is what the drawing is, 0.2125. So we move to the next one. It's giving us E. For E, it says copy the scaled object to the coordinates and stretch it to match this shape. So the coordinate is 1.5 and 9.5. So in a drawing, get to the home line 1.5, 9.5, enter. And then it says we should, so this page, copy the scaled object. So copy the scaled object next. And drop it at the beginning point. That's where that point is. And then we need to check out what we're asked to do. It's telling us that the distance between these 2 points is 0.125, 0.125. Now we have overall length and width of 2 meters. So let's check out what we have here already and then get that proportion. So this should be 2 by 2. So it's 1 by 1 now, but we want it to be 2 by 2. And the top should be 0.125, bottom should be 0.125. Okay, so right now, what dimension is it? We want it to be 0.125, exactly what it is now. So we need to stretch in 2 directions, the width and the height. If we look at our drawing, we'll see that we're having an extended image here, and then we have all the space in the middle, so give you an idea of how we want to stretch. So offset by 2 meters by 2, okay, and show it to 15. Offset this way and offset this way. So I need to check what direction is it stretching to. So we still have our reference point here, and we're stretching all around. Go back here, then we stretch our dimensional line so that I can see. Okay, so stretch here, right click. Now pick it from here. So yeah, so we have 2 in this direction. Then want to go in this direction, so stretch again. select here, right click on here to here. So we have it in 2 meters. So if we check now, you see that we have the, okay, now we have after the line. So that's 2 meters and 2 meters, and then 2 in this direction. Okay, so the next one, I want to delete this, okay? Delete the 2. Right now we have done E. We'll move to F. F now is for the original object. So copy the original object to the coordinates, scale it to match dimension drawing. For F, we copy the original drawing and then scale. We're not stretching anymore, we're scaling to match dimension. We have our point at 2 and 5.5. So a line, and then we say 2, 5.5. And then we go in this direction. So copy the original object. Where's my copy? The original object is 4 meters by 4 meters. And so we place it here. Switching the other one. So we say we've copied the original, we scale it to match this drawing. And right here we have 1.25. So what is the proportion of 1.25 to 4? Here's my calculator. And divide 1.25 divided by 4. That's 0.3125, so that's what we want to scale it to. So in order to get 1.25, we're scaling our 4 to 0.3125. So I'm going to select the drawing and then scale. This is our reference point. And now 0.3125 will be our scale factor. You see that it is now, if we check it out, I see that we've lost the base of that. Well, let's check this dimension. It says 1.25. And this, we can drag it to the end or we chamfer. So we have 1.25 here for assignment F. And for G, let's say copy the original object to the coordinates for G. Oh, this is I. G is 4 and 3. So let's copy. G says copy the original object to its coordinates and scale it to a factor of 5. So we mean a factor, no dimensions. So go back here, 4 and 3, line, and then 4, 3. That's our start point. We have to copy for G, copy the original objects and scale to factor of 5. So copy original objects. Okay. So drop it at the point and then scale it to a factor of 5. So I'll select this, scale to this point, and then my scale factor is 5. It's quite huge, very big here. So go back to the page for G, 4 and 3, we scale it to a factor of 5. H is this now. H, you have 3 steps. H says copy the original object to the coordinates shown and then scale the 2 outside ones to a scale factor of 0.5 and the center one to fit. So we have 2 coordinates, 7 and 2, and then 12.5 and y5. So we'll do that now. Okay, the first coordinate was 7 and 2. Line 7, 2. So that's our first point. Let's get the second point. 12.5 and 5.5. Line 12.5, 5.5. We have our second point. And now we're to copy the original object to the coordinates. So begin at this edge and at this edge. So copy for the first one, original object. Copy. So here. And the other to fit in, we have to first, this is H, so scale the outside ones to a scale factor of 0.5. So let's scale it now. So I'll scale, select my scale, select join, right click, pick a base point and go 0.5. Okay, and then I'll copy the object for the second time. Copy, right click, and drop this here. Then scale the point here, 0.5. So scale the two edges to 0.5, and then it says to fit in the other one. So we need to find out how much does it need to fit in for H, and then the center one to fit. So go back to join, copy this. So I'm going to copy. I can measure it, or I can try to. But this overlap, so I cannot drop it there. So let's measure what will be the width for this new one. Come to this point, check out the annotate, check out the current width. We need 1.5. So we want to change 4 to 1.5. We go to our calculator and see 1.5 divided by 4. That's 0.375. So we're going to scale to 0.375. So scale this to 0.375. And now we can move it in place. Select and move it to place. I can delete these dimensions. That's done. The next thing is to do for I. So copy the original object to the coordinates and rotate it 45 degrees and scale it to match the figure. So let's copy the original object, rotate it, and then we scale it. So we have 6 and 5.5. So line 6, 5.5. So with that point, let's copy original figure, copy. Pick it from there. We're dropping it here. And then the next instruction is to rotate it by 45 degrees and scale to match the figure. So go over here and select my object. This is rotate. So base point is from here. I want to rotate by 45 degrees. Sometimes you might just need to move this up and down and get, or we type in the angle. I think this is 45 degrees, but let's type in 45 and so it should just goes clockwise here. So it's always anti-clockwise. So now we rotate by 45 degrees and it's here. And we need to make sure that the height is 2. So what is the current height now? This is 5, 6, 5, 6, 9. And this one says the height should be 2. So we do our mathematics. Cancel. So 2 divided by 5. Check that number 5, 65, 69. That's 5.6569. So we're scaling it down to 0.3536, round it off to 4 digits. So let's scale it. Scale. Let's select all lines. Select all lines. Right click and then points. Scale points 3536. And so we have the height as 2. 0, 0, 0, that's this point. It's 2, approximately 2. So now we've done this. Okay, so we have up to I. So the next step, say complete the following steps. Draw a 1.4 diameter construction circle at the coordinates as shown. Copy a scaled object to the coordinates as shown. Coordinates shown and array the object to match the figure. So let's get the point for this circle. I'm going to have my line and draw x10, y18. Okay. So get the center point of the circle. 10, say line, then 10, 18. Oh, this is the center of the point. We'll go for line again. Let's get the center of the circle. So send these lines now. So I have only the line selected to go across. So we have the center of our circle, say 1.4 diameter circle. So circle, click here, and then D, enter 1.4, enter. So we have the circle, I think the layer is black. So we have our 1.4 diameter circle, then copy the scaled object to the coordinates. So we need to get this midpoint 8 and 18. 9, 8, 18. So this way. And now we need to copy the midpoint for the scaled object. So get one of the scaled object and drop the midpoint at this edge. That is J. So scaled objects copy. And then pick it from here. We drop it here. So that's the first object. And now array the object to match the figure. So we count how many objects we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In total, there are 6 objects. So let's go and use the array command to get the 6 objects. So click on the array. We're going to have a polar array because it's a circle. And it says select objects. So select the whole thing. Right click. Specify center, which is center of the circle. And it's already giving us 6 because there are 6 items up here. 6 items. So let's close the array and we have our objects. To ensure this is 1, to check what is the distance between the center and that side. So we see that it is 1, approximately 1, to we're fine. And for K, draw a 1.4 diameter construction circle at the coordinates. Copy the scaled object to the coordinates. Okay. So let's get our midpoint here, x10, y12. Go back to our line, 10, 12. So we have this point now. And usually get this other line. Then we cross it, the center line. Our next step will be a 1.4. So don't J on the K. K is 1.4 diameter construction circle. And copy the scaled object. So we draw the circle and then we'll put our midpoint of the scaled object at x11, y12. So let's get our circle. So we already have the circle here. I can copy it. It's a 1.4 diameter circle. So then you can get that 11 and 12 points. So 11, 12. This is where the midpoint of the scaled object is. So copy. Copy to here. And then once we have this midpoint on that point, in K says array to match the figure. So go on and make an array, polar array. Center. This is 6 objects. How many objects do they have? 6 too. Sure. But the objects are not horizontal this way. Look at it, they're vertical. So go on to K. It says array the object to match the figure. So back here, we have our arrays. We might need to rotate the object itself. So let me see, rotate. We select here, see, automatically it makes it straight. So we'll take on this icon and then it's straight, and then we can close the item. And so we go to the next step, L. In L, we make a pattern. So copy the original object anywhere on the drawing and then scale the object to match the given dimension. Rotate it 45 degrees, use 2 polar arrays. Complete the diagram as shown. Move the finished object to the coordinates as shown. Okay. So we want to have, let's see, we want to use copy the original object anyway, scale the object to match given dimensions, rotate it 45 degrees. So this is the pattern that we want, and we want it to be 0.8 at this x20, y40. So the hint, okay, so we can edit this hint. So copy the object and then rotate it at 45. Copy the original object, scale it to match this dimension, and rotate. Let's do the first steps here. How do we match it? Okay, 0.8. So we're giving the dimension of 0.8. We're going to copy the original object. Our original object is here, the bigger one. So copy it to anywhere on the diagram to work on it first. So we'll go this way, that's less congested. And we are asked to scale it up to 0.8. Right now it is 4, okay? And if 4 is going to 0.8, that means we're shrinking it to 0.8 divided by 4. 0.2. So we are shrinking it to 0.2. So scale 0.2. So this is the size. And then the next thing we want to do, rotate it by 45 degrees. So back to this one, rotate, select, click here, and then type in 45. It's 45, this is the enter. So I have this one, and the next step is to use two polar arrays to complete the diagram shown below. Move the finished objects with coordinates. Okay, so back to our hints. We are right here now, and now we're asked to do two polar arrays. So one polar array, and then the second one. So let's do the first polar array. So go for polar array. This is select objects, and then right click. We're going to specify the center at the edge. And so start trying to get the right arrangement. Anytime I click it, it changes, but it is too many objects. We want 4 objects. Okay, good. So by the time I go 4 objects and click to arrange it, I see that they are all in one direction, but in this case, we have flipped. We have it flipping, so 2 vertical, 2 horizontal. We're going to try direction. It doesn't change here. So rotate, yes, so I have it here now rotated. And so click. So we do that again, rotating again. So select it, do the polar again. And this time, check how many of it we want. Same kind of 4. Now we see that it's repeated HH, horizontal and vertical arrangement. So basically 4 items, rotate items. I don't know if I have my center point. So no. Use say polar array, select objects, right click, specify center points, good. And then we want 4 items. And then we want rotate items. So if we look at it, we see that it's alternating. We have a pattern in here, and so close our array. Okay. So the last thing is to put it to the coordinates of 20 and 4. This edge will be on 20 and 4. So back here, select the line 20, 4. Enter. So with that, we can move this edge to that edge. So move from this point to this point here. Well, next steps, step 8, we want to complete the things shown to us below. Draw a construction circle at the coordinates shown and copy the scaled object to the 4 locations shown. Execute the array command 4 times to match the figure. So let's get the center of the circle, which is 24 and 14. Line 24, 14. Then we need a circle of 1 diameter. Draw a circle. And then B, enter 1, enter. So we have a circle. Then we need to copy the scaled object to 4 locations. So we need to find out where the locations are. For here now we have an X in the circle. We'll copy the scaled object to 4 locations. Okay. So we need to put in the 45-degree lines in the circle, and then we bring our scaled objects to the 4 locations. So here the horizontal lines. Control Z, that line is not straight. So select or extend. Yeah, so we need the 45-degree line now. So it's 45 degrees. I'll extend it, and then I'll mirror it. So now we're copying the scaled object to those points. Yeah. And so we can mirror this, mirror, and then mirror the two of them. And so we have this shape as it is here for M. It says execute array command 4 times to match the figure. So I will undo all this and use the array command to match the figure. So I'll go to array, select my objects, specify the center point, make it 4, and check this, so that works. And then so we have the array. Go back to so we have a lot of boxes here now. I think this is where we stop. Coming over to this point. There's a lot, and then we go to. So let's see if we're missing out on any step. 8B. 8B, where is the command? 8A and 8B. Okay. So I think we need to figure out 8B by side. So so then we're right here. We need to check out our drawing. What is left is to make these patterns here, and they're all facing up. So I need to make, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. 7 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 rows and 7 columns of the scaled object. And let's look at our drawing to see how close we are to the final look. Okay. So we have this huge one, and then we have these ones. And then we need to make this trail by the side. So, yeah. Okay, the completed drawing should look like this. So we're going to compare what we have to this. Go back to the text. So we don't have a lot of ones here, but let's make the ones taken out at this point. So our circle is right here. So let's make these pattern here 6 and 7 by 10 for the scaled object. So we copy Okay, select it. Okay, because it's an array, you cannot pick one. Okay, so let's go copy for the scaled object. Select, copy, and then paste there. So that is the beginning of it. So we have 7 on this row. 3, 6, 7. So I'm going to copy this to the second line, and then I'll keep copying. We have 10. I'll copy the bunch of them 5 times to make 10. So select this, copy, pick it from a point and drop it at another junction to make sure that it's copied well. So copy this, pick from this point, and then drop it at the junction. So now we need to make 3 more sets because we counted 10 vertically. So copy and pick it from this point. 1, 2, and 3. So we have there 2 plus 3, 5. 2 plus 3, 5. I have that. I think there's a lot of single ones beside it. Okay, so look at this we have here, and then we have rows of the boxes. For M, this is 15 spaced out, and this is 3, 6, 7. 3 rows of 7, 3 rows of 5, 3 rows of 7, and then this continues like step 3 up. Go back to our drawing. You see that we are not having those ones in here. And then if we want to copy this in a progression, Y. Okay, we're given the way to draw it. So let's look at the number here and then draw it. So vertical line, 35 degrees, and the distance. And then 1 meter apart, 1 apart. So 1 this way, and then 1 with the height. So let's try to draw that. Offsets. I think I need to put in my line first. So we need to move these 2 from here because we were told to place it anywhere in the drawing. So I'll move them away so I can draw in that spot. Okay. So offset by 1 meter by 1. Offset here. So going up by 1. And look at the dimensions now. So going up by 1, and then we can go in this direction 2 by 1. We can place those lines. So offset by 1 with so time to copy our scaled objects. Oh, when we have our 1 in this direction and 1 in this direction means to align here with 1 and align here in this direction. Then we can do our patterns of 5 equally spaced on each line. So I'll copy the scaled object. I'll pick it from this point, and I'm dropping it at this point. And I can drop this at this top point because we have set it. And so we check out the direction of these drawings. So we have 1, 2, 3, the third line. And then what comes beside this one is different. So let's work on these 3 and this one for the little one. So from here, we go up by 2 boxes and then 5 in this direction. So from here, go up by 2 boxes. So let's just copy this and begin from this edge here. Now I can copy another. I can copy the 2 of them. Copy. Begin from this edge, the top. I'm dropping it at the top here. Remember, we have 5 in this direction, so we can also copy the 3. Right click. Click from here. That's 3, 4, and it's complete now. The next thing is this slanting. So the angle from this 35, then we take that slant height. So let's see. We have a straight line, 90 minus 35 is 55. So look for angle 55 from the vertical. Or we can have it our horizontal line. And we say click, rotate, we select this line. And then we say rotate by 55. So that's simple so that we don't guess. And then we want this line to be at the edge of those boxes. So we have the line now, and how to get those boxes. We know the distance or the height. So following the line, spacing from this edge to this edge is 1.75. So we can do that. 1.75 offset from the edge. Okay. So I'll get my line from here to here. We have this angle, is at 90 degrees. So offset by 1.75. Look at what is the relationship between this edge and 1.75. So if I have this my top edge, doesn't really matter. It's the distance between the back here and the back here. That means it will be the distance. Let's take obviously distance from the back there. So I will move this to see the next line because we're working with the corner here. Okay. So distance between here and the next edge. So extend it now. Back edge and the top edge. So you can copy another array, and then this works when it's touching the line. So you should touch the line, and then the distance should be 1.75. So it needs to move. We need to move closer to this line. To get that up and then still be at 1.75. Good. So this is what works here. I have my first one, so I can delete those guidelines and then copy. So copy this, and we're going to be picking it from this point, dropping it at that point, and dropping it at that point. So we have three more boxes, so total of 4 right there. And so we would want to do the ones that are in this space. So we have the offset distance of 0.5 and 1.5. So let's get that by this direction, offset by 0.5, enter. And then the distance, so I can drag this down because maybe it's in this direction, undo, needs to be straight. And then what direction for 1.5? So from this box this way, 1.5. So we get a line. Set 1.5. So we can copy the one that's in line with it and bring it down here, and then we can copy it again, get the one beside it, and then copy sides, copy again for the next step here. Check out, we have 3 rows, and yeah, the 3 rows, and then we're going to go this direction. We have 2 now, so 4, 6, 7. So come over to this place, copy, so get 7. That's maybe 5 more. So right click and picking at the edge and dropping here. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So that's it. We have that visual. So now we have this and all of them in place. And so when we look at it, you can see our drawings. That's it, completed. So complete and then send it to or submit it. Thank you for watching. How to save your file, and see you in part 6.